there were a lot of conversations early on before we cast. Honestly, before we even were at Sony, it was supposed to be a really small indie movie at Wayfair, and then Sony got involved later. Blake got cast, and it snowballed from there. But we had a lot of conversations about aging the roles up a little bit.
Whew, sis Blake Lively is not letting up with these subpoenas. She's coming for folks like she got time today. On July 3rd, she fired off a whole new batch. And baby, it wasn't just the big names. Now TMZ got wind of it. But let's be real, that info didn't fall from the sky. Most likely, her legal team or PR folks whispered it straight into TMZ's ear. They only mentioned Candace Owens, Andy Signore, and Perez Hilton publicly. But what they didn't say is that she's also aiming her legal arrows at the little guys, the micro-creators. And honey, they ain't telling us what platforms they creeping on either. And baby, we are pushing back hard. Just yesterday, X, yep, the app formerly known as Twitter, started hitting up 20 users like, "Hey boo, Blake Lively done subpoenaed your info." And get this, these weren't even big-time influencers. Nope. These were regular folks who just happened to be tweeting their thoughts about the case. Some are lawyers, some are indie reporters, some are creators, and some just everyday people sipping tea and chiming in. Not even content creators. And now Blake want their personal info too? Girl, not you trying to play Big Brother. And this on top of what she already asked Google for. Makes you think, is she pulling the same stunt with TikTok, Instagram, Reddit? Because at this point, it's giving no platform is safe. The wildest part? She out here moving like she's unraveling some grand conspiracy. One that ain't even real. Sis, weren't you the one calling us conspiracy theorists? So boom, let me break it down. This latest tea is straight from X, and the account that got hit with the subpoena, they go by the Spiritual Shift, or just Spiritual Shift. Now, they say they're an attorney, but I don't know their real name. That's just the handle. And when they announced the subpoena, they laid it all out. They said, "I just got subpoenaed over my ex posts about the whole Blake versus Justin drama." Like many of us, they were just out here posting thoughts based on info that's already public. They even said, "Look, I'm a licensed attorney and a casual content creator. I only started talking about this mess around late December 2024, early January 2025, because it caught my interest." And here's the kicker. They ain't monetized, no ads, no brands, no cash apps, not even a lil promo. Just 2,400 followers and 0 coins made. Just like a lot of y'all, I got pulled into this case. Not just because it's 2 celebs going at it in court, but because it shines a big ol' spotlight on something deeper. How the media, Hollywood clout, and slick PR teams be out here twisting the truth and controlling the whole narrative. From the jump, I had my side eye on Blake Lively's claims. As a lawyer, I've been trained to spot the loopholes, decode the fancy language, and peep how some legal filings are dressed up to look stronger than they really are. All smoke and mirrors to make a client look good.
A character that is experiencing dementia, and did being a mum to daughters play into that decision or impact your decision to take on the role?
I didn't look at any one thing in her life because I think she's so much more than this thing that happened to her. And yes, it can change the course of her life, but it doesn't define her. She defines herself. And that to me is really, really beautiful. She's not a victim and she's not a survivor. Well, she may be a victim and she may be a survivor. She's also multitudes.
And when I read Blake's first filing, whew, baby, the red flags were waving hard. But I knew I wasn't crazy, 'cause y'all felt it too. The response to my post was wild. And let's talk numbers. Over 38 million views on my ex posts. So clearly the people are paying attention. My posts? Oh, they've been liked, shared, bookmarked, and the replies? Non-stop. Folks all across X been echoing the same concerns, especially once more receipts started dropping in the case. But now, it done got real serious. I just got hit with something way more disturbing. An official email from X, paired with a whole subpoena courtesy of Blake Lively's legal squad. Yep, they really coming for my personal account info. And for what? Because I had the audacity to speak truth to power, loud, clear, and unfiltered. All I did was call out what I saw, openly and critically. And now they trying to treat me like a criminal for having a voice? Baby, make it make sense. Blake and Ryan? Oh, they already got the mainstream media wrapped up tight, thanks to that heavyweight PR machine they're running. And let's not forget, they got a whole ex-CIA operative on deck as their crisis manager. Baby, that's not just PR, that's spy-level spin control. But now they want to crank it up even more, targeting creators and regular folks on social media who are just trying to speak their mind, keep it real, and not get caught up in mess. We talking about people who just want to share their thoughts without being hit with emotional warfare, legal scare tactics, crazy lawyer fees, or invasive subpoenas demanding private info like emails, phone numbers, home addresses, bank records, the works. And for what? All this over a Hollywood legal circus between two of the industry's biggest stars. That got zero to do with me or most of us. It's giving intimidation. It's giving overreach. It's giving, we said too much and now they scared. 20 users. That's how many were listed in my copy of the subpoena. If you even think you might be one of them, do yourself a favor and check your email right now. And if nothing's come through yet, hit me up. My version of the doc has unredacted usernames, no filter, no mercy. This right here, this is what privileged injustice looks like in real time. It's a full-on phishing expedition, a calculated move by the rich and powerful to scare folks into silence. Not justice, not accountability, just straight-up intimidation wrapped in a legal disguise. They ain't just coming for the big names, they coming for anybody bold enough to speak against their carefully crafted, elite-driven narrative. And to top it all off, the subpoena email from X itself, cold and clinical.
You seem like you're in love with him, but you love Ryle. And I was like, no, I also love Ryle, but like, I really love Atlas. He's like, you love Ryle. And I was like, wait, I'm sorry. Wait, what's happening? But you love Ryle. I do, but like, she's conflicted. Totally. And that was always an interesting dynamic when you have somebody who's playing the character also being the one like looking at the movie. So we were always like, are we too connected? Are we too vibing? Yeah. But she loves Ryle. He's the best. I mean, she loves Atlas. She also loves Ryle. She loves Atlas and young Lily.
We're writing to inform you that X has received the attached legal process dated July 3rd. Like, wow. Just like that, your privacy, your voice, under attack. X ain't handed over your info yet. But don't get too comfortable. In their own words, they said they might be legally forced to give up your basic account details down the line. And they made sure to cover their own behinds by saying, "We just wanted to bring this to your attention." Real polite while chaos brews behind the scenes. They basically told us, if you want to fight it, take it up with the courts or hit up whoever sent the subpoena. Peep the attached legal docs for that info. Oh, and of course, they hit us with that classic line. We can't give you legal advice, but you should probably go get a lawyer. Baby, it's giving corporate hands-off while folks like us are left to fend for ourselves against celebrity power plays and hush-hush legal moves. They also dropped links to the ACLU and the Electronic Frontier Foundation. Now check this. Someone suggested hitting up the ACLU yesterday, since they've been all about protecting our voices on social. They're not just about one issue, they're about defending free speech across the board. So for anyone getting dragged into this, they're a legit resource. But truthfully, I reached out to the ACLU once and heard nothing back. Radio silence. So they might be choosy about who they actually help. And in this case, they might be hesitant to step in, especially with the sexual harassment angles swirling round. Not sure what their policy is on that. At some point, you gotta believe there's gonna be a breaking point, where these free speech orgs finally wake up and realize this ain't even about no lawsuit anymore. It's about power moves. It's about fear. It's about using the legal system to shut folks all the way up. And honestly, it's laughable that they out here targeting X users like, really? X. I still slip up and call it Twitter, cause let's be real, I never used X like that. I had a Twitter back in the day, but once it flipped to X, I only kept it to lurk. No posting, no nothing. So the fact they're going after randoms on there is just wild. Most folks tweeting on X ain't getting paid, they ain't monetized, they ain't influencers, they just regular people talking. That's it. And now, it's giving dictatorship vibes. Like you can't speak on certain celebs without looking over your shoulder. Blake and Ryan are public figures, actors living in the Hollywood spotlight. Think about it. We talk about tons of celebs on this channel. But suddenly with them, it's hush or else. That's not justice. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it. If you're feeling the vibe, hit that like button. And if you're new to the fam, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when we drop the latest and greatest. Thanks for tuning in.